So here we are once again for yet another unboxing slash review. This time we have the brand new Maverick Atom. Now for those of you that don't know, Maverick are actually owned by HBI and they're coming in with a pretty hot price on this little truck. So here in Australia, this truck retails for $99, which is actually really good and very competitive in this space. This is a 1/18 scale four-wheel drive brushed monster truck. It's water resistant, comes with built-in LED lights, has a charger and battery included, and is available in 4 different colors. It's a pretty good deal if you ask me, so let's get rid of that box and let's have a look at this little guy because it is kind of cute and does come pretty well equipped. It even has a little tiny wheelie bar, which we'll get to very quickly. So first thing here is this little box that I took out, and in here we actually have a couple of goodies. So we take everything out of that little box. We have a little toolkit. So we have a tiny little screwdriver, we have some spare body pins, and we have a little cross wrench which will help you take the wheels on and off. I think that's pretty cool that they've included all of those. We have our battery charger. Now this is just a USB charger, but it should do the job just fine. And then of course we have our user manual that has part numbers for everything. There's exploded views to help you work on the vehicle. There's also information about, how to turn it on, what the dials on the radio does, and all that sort of thing. So yeah, pretty well equipped, I think, for a starter pack. And of course you have the radio and the truck, everything ready to go. Now the radio is actually pretty cool, although I do have one issue with the radio which I'll tell you about in a minute. But it runs on 3 AA's. It has this little foam wheel on the steering wheel which actually matches the color of the car. So depending on the color of the car that you pick, you'll have the matching wheel to go with it, which I think is really cool. You have the on and off switch just over here, which is just a push button. You got your steering trim on this side, and you have your throttle trim, which is not really a throttle trim, it's actually a throttle dual rate. So you can actually monitor the top speed of the vehicle by turning this down or up, depending on who's using it. Now, my only issue with this radio is that it's really kind of designed for small hands. And the way I can tell this is, number one, the handle isn't very long, and the trigger is actually it's really awkward. I have to hold it a particular way, because if I try to hold it like normal, my finger kind of sticks through a bit too far. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like the trigger should be a little bit more forward for bigger hands like mine. The length of the handle isn't too bad. You can, manage that if you got big mitts like mine. But yeah, it's just the position of the trigger. This is really designed for smaller hands. And I guess that's a good thing, because a lot of people are going to be getting these for birthdays and Christmases, given the price point of the car. And I really like the idea of having different color foam on the radios to match the car. Because if you have 3 or 4 of these in your household, one for you, one for mum, one for the kids, then obviously, it makes it a lot easier to identify which radio controls which car. Right, so time for a close-up of this little guy, and it does actually look pretty cool. I don't mind it in the blue. I think it looks good, although it does look good in all of the colors that they have available, to be honest with you. Actually not a bad looking truck at all. There it is underneath. LEDs on the front bumper here, which actually is a pretty nice front bumper too. We have LEDs on the roof just here with these little sort of like roof skids. We also have protection on the bottom back here, which is something that you don't see in a little car like this. Here's our wheelie bar, and the tires themselves, you can see, look very reminiscent of what you'll find on an Armour Kraton. They don't have foam inserts, and the rubber compound feels a little bit hard, but it's not the hardest rubber I've felt on a ready-to-run, around this sort of price. So hopefully they'll grip okay. Suspension, these are friction shocks. They do not have oil in them. However, you can get optional oil-filled shocks to match the color of the bodies. So if you buy a blue truck, you can get blue shocks, green truck, green shocks, and so on. So not a bad little thing that they've managed to do with these little trucks. Just before we take the body off though, this little red button here is actually your on and off button when you've got the battery plugged in, rather than having to spaghetti feed your finger in here, try to find out where the ESC is, and then it's on the other side. Now you've got the button just there. You've got your battery plugged in, you put your body on, and you can just turn it on and off without having to remove the body, which I think is a really cool trick. So speaking of the body, let's take the body off real quick here. Now you do need to remember that it is tethered because of the LEDs that are on the roof. So if you take the body off and just give it a big old yank, you might end up damaging the wires. So I'm going to very carefully remove the body here from the ESC, and you'll see it underneath. It's actually got a bit of a frame around the front body posts, and you can see how it's been reinforced on the back here as well with this little lip. There's a little hole for the on-off switch to come through for the ESC. So all up, you know, I have to say, given the price point of this, this body is actually probably better designed and better reinforced than some of the cars that you'll actually pay, you know, easy 5, 6, maybe even 10 times more than this. So well done to Maverick for doing that. Here is the chassis. This is what it all looks like, the layout. We've got our 2-in-1 ESC. You can see the little antenna here for the receiver. There's our extra long on-off switch just there. Little 380 size motor with the heatsink over the top that's got this paper, you know, little warning that's hot over the top here. They are using T-style or Dean's connectors, which I think is a big plus. First of all, they're not using proprietary connectors, which is, you know, obviously something that you want to avoid. And they're stepping away from the, you know, Tamiya or Molex style connectors. So really good to see that. The battery or battery tray kind of comes apart. So there's this strap that sort of clips in here, and the way I found to remove it, just give it a bit of a twist this way and it just pops out nice and easy. It swivels around and then you can remove your battery. The battery, I'll bring it up close to the camera here. It is a 1300 milliamp 7.4 volt lithium ion pack, which I think for a little car like this will give you plenty of runtime. And then you just slide the battery strap back in, and that's pretty much it. There's really not a lot to it. There's no adjustment on the A-arms or the shock towers for you to sort of change the angle of the shocks. You do have adjustable body posts, which I think is kind of cool to see that. So you can either raise or lower the body, you know, to your heart's content. We have a fairly micro servo over here. There are no adjustable links or anything like that for toes and cambers. The A-arms do look a little bit thin. And of course you do have universal plastic drive shafts on the front, and you've also got plastic drive shafts on the rear. Now if you do want to upgrade this to brushless, you can do that. There are steel drive shafts for the front and rear if you want to upgrade that and of course run a bit more power in this car. And there's also a steel drive shaft already pre-installed, although I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is a steel drive shaft already in there through the center, which you know, will handle that brushless power. So the car actually comes pretty well equipped out of the box with everything that you need, and there are option parts there for you to you know, customize and upgrade and go faster with it if you want. But for now, let's take it out for a drive and let's see how it handles in stock form. Okay, little Atom. Bouncing around like crazy. This it's so cute. Look at it. I mean, I tell you what the biggest complaint for me so far is, it's not the handling, it's not the speed. It's nothing to do with the car actually. It's this radio. I don't like the position of the trigger. It's too far back. I'm finding that I'm kind of driving with like a crimped trigger finger. It's really hard to explain, but it's really, the position of the throttle trigger is just not right for adults at least. Maybe for little kids this is perfect because they have smaller hands, and I think it might actually be perfect for smaller hands, but man, my fingers are just way too long. My hands are too big for this little radio. That's my biggest complaint. As far as what to expect out of a $100 car that has LED lights and everything, I mean, you can't expect this thing to do 60 miles an hour. I think it's ooh, got caught up on something. Nah, definitely. Oh, hey, look at that. It did a wheelie. Hang on, let's try that again. That's hilarious. Hang on, gotta do that again. Yes! Let's go. Alright, let's take it on the jumps. Let's see how it does there. Alright, let's do a couple of jumps with this guy. Whoa. Traction is only a metaphor.
It's so tiny. Come on, let's line it up. Oh, come on, be nice now. Oh. Does it manage to get through the tall grass? Hey, he manages the tall grass. He just bounces around like crazy. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh! He gets one little bump. He gets one little bump, he just gets all out of shape. I think I'm going to have to try this with some oil-filled shocks. Just to see if it handles any better. Because it's so bouncy. Hey, look at that! We managed to do a little jump. So I don't think there's going to be any chance of this making it to the Superman jump today. So for those of you watching, sorry to disappoint you. What? What? Oh no! Hey! Oh, have I lost range or what's happened? Can't be a flat battery already. Here we go. Oh, that was just range. Okay, so very short range. My goodness, that's weird. Very short range. This is so cool. All right, now apparently this does have throttle trim as well, which is your throttle dual rate. So let me turn that all the way to 0. Oh, that's crawler mode. That's full speed. Okay, so all the way to 0 is probably too slow. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. All right, so that's full pace there. Probably about 25% power. And now we're going to go about halfway. So this is really designed for like little tiny kids who have really zero experience. And now we're going to go full speed again, and there we go. All right. I mean, speed-wise, it's not terrible for what it is, surely. It's not the worst. The tyres are definitely a bit firm, and the bouncy suspension makes it a bit challenging on this terrain. But on grass and soft dirt, I think this is fine. Hey, nice little jump there. See if we can get another one. Oops, missed. Oh no, it's upside down.